Brendan here on your left.
The Gavin Salchuk touchdown run, the effort you gave Richie, I believe it was as well. Coach Ham talked about it being just a culture play. At your vantage point with that, is that something you guys train for? Is that just instinct? And how did that all develop?
Yeah, I think, as you play more and more football, you kind of understand that those situations come up in games, and you don't want to be, the guy that is not running after the play and Gavin comes up short or something bad happens or the ball comes out and you're not running towards the ball. So I always try my best to, follow the ball and chase after the ball. And in that situation, I happened to be running after the ball and just give Gavin that extra push me and Richie did. And so that's kind of my mentality is I don't want to be, the guy that's not chasing after the ball.
How cool was that too that I think it was Javon Boggs, a true freshman, his first game had the wherewithal to try to.
Yeah, it's a veteran move by a young guy. It's cool to see. But yeah, it was awesome to see Boggs out there the entire game. He played a great game.
From a communication standpoint, just working hand in hand with the four guys beside the offensive lineman specifically, how good was it on Saturday for the fact that you guys had that limited time lineup-wise?
Yeah, I think it really helps to play center when you're surrounded by four veteran guys that have played a bunch of football and have a great understanding of the game. And I think we prepared our tails off and we all we're dialed in on the game plan. So when it's like that, it's easy to go out there and communicate and be on the same page. So those guys, they make it easy on me, and we all help each other because we're all preparing and doing the right things during the week.
We'll go over to your right for Ira.
Did you have any doubt that he was going to go for it on that 4th and 1? And what's the key like in that situation? I'm sure you want to get fired up, but you also need to be focused.
Yeah, I don't really during the game. I'm not thinking about what we're gonna call or what is Coach Norvell thinking. I kind of just go with what is told to me, and we said go for it. I didn't hesitate. I don't think anyone, as you could see, no one on our side of the ball hesitated. We were ready to go, and I think that it's not something that you have to be like. It's a big play in the game, but it's nothing to lose your mind about and like get overly amped up. Just do your job, do your assignment, and that's what we did.
Come back to the left for Liam.
Coach Ham yesterday credited particularly your communication, your recognition of some of the stuff that Alabama was doing defensively. Just how prepared did you feel going into that game? And did you kind of feel as the game went on you were really seeing what they were doing?
Yeah, I think I went in. I felt prepared, and like I said before the previous question, I think all five of us were prepared, and I think that it can get harder if you go out there and there's guys next to you that aren't prepared or as prepared as you are, and I think that wasn't the case on Saturday. I think we all were dialed in, knew what was expected of us, and had a good idea of what they were going to run, even it being an opener, and there's always an opportunity for different things you haven't seen. But I think I just did my best to do my job, and I knew that the guys next to me had done their job during the week too, so we were all on the same page. And when it's like that, it's fun to play offensive line.
You've been with Coach Ham for a while now. That was the first game. What was that like? Kind of, I guess you describe like what kind of leader and coach he is during the game.
Yeah, I think Coach Hand during games, he does a great job of, teaching when he needs to teach during games and, helping us with adjustments and things like that, while also knowing that it's a game and that maybe too much information isn't always a good thing. So I think he's a veteran coach, and he knows that, give us information that we need, motivate us, get us excited, tell us when to, calm down and, settle in or things like that. But, I think he did a great job, and it was awesome first experience with him during game day.
Stay there for Matt.
Coach Ham also talked about the iPads yesterday. You've been in college football a while before they even had those on the sidelines. How much of a difference is that for you being able to see it right there instantly and go make an adjustment?
Yeah, I think before the iPads, you'd get a lot of he said, she said, and you never knew exactly what was happening on plays. So when you get the iPad, they say the eye in the sky never lies. So you'll see exactly what happened, exactly what went wrong or went right, and from there it's a lot easier to fix as opposed to getting on a whiteboard and people are saying no, this happened, that happened. So the iPad definitely helps in that sense.
Come over here for Brendan.
So for context, before I ask the question, Coach Ham yesterday was pretty adamant about Bama's
Yeah.
On. Coach Marvell today said yesterday's practice felt really sharp, a little up and down. In general, like, how do you think the team has done responding to success, the level of success that you guys had this weekend?
Yeah, I think obviously Saturday was awesome, and Saturday was Saturday, and I think that a lot of us have the older guys, and you've had success. If you don't move on, then that's when you get got. So I think we've done the best job we can of moving on and getting ready to go and preparing, practicing hard, things like that. And it's definitely difficult, but you have to move on, and I think we've done a good job of that. And there's no thought of the last game. It's all about the next one.
Luke, Coach Ham was mentioning about being instrumental with working with the younger guys, especially with the Sandman, Chavez. How much has he been embracing taking him under his wing, and what we could see from him potentially on Saturday?
Yeah, I've been ever since Sandman's got here. I've been really impressed. He's, it's hard for freshmen to come in and have a role, and it's when I was a freshman, it's hard to focus. There's a lot of things going on. It's your first time away from home. You have a bunch of freedom and stuff like that. But I think that Sandman's came in and he's really attacked every day, and you can tell he cares. He pays attention. He takes criticism. He takes coaching. He takes advice from older guys, and young guys that are able to do that and learn that at 18 years old are usually the players that turn out when they're 22 or 21, that they're some of the best players on the team. So I think the sky's the limit for him.
We'll go to Aslan in the back right.
Luke, how much do you think Tommy's energy and confidence makes you guys play at a high level? How much of your guys' kind of aggression and physicality gives Tommy confidence to play at a high level?
Yeah, I think when you have a quarterback like Tommy and you watch him play, and you watch I'd say he plays an inspiring style of football, where if you're on his team and you watch what he's doing, it's impossible to not play your hardest and want to, whether you're on offense or defense. If you're an offensive lineman, you want to block your tail off because you watch a guy like Tommy, he's doing everything in his power every single play to make us have success. So, and that goes the same thing for defense. I think guys watch Tommy and they're like, we got to get him the ball back. So I think that Tommy, he's a spark plug, and I think he did a great job all of the spring and summer and last week and during the game of leading us, and he did a really good job, and I was super proud of him.
Come back over here for Brendan.
With Sandman, the mentoring of him, something Coach Ham talked about, that you've only been here for 8 months, and by the time he's playing and starting, he'll be pursuing an NFL career. Why is that important for you?
I think I never want to be somewhere and leave it in a worse place than it was when I got here. I want to leave Florida State and have it in a better situation than it was than when I got here. So I think I just think as a human being, it's kind of like if I have the chance and the opportunity to, why not pour into a young guy, especially a guy like Sandman, who you can tell he really cares and wants to learn. So it's easy to help him and want him to grow.
You're good? Okay. Thanks, Luke.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.